Hello everyone and welcome back to Easy Natural English with Liam. Once again, I've brought back my wife Cassie to join me today. If you remember, she is born and raised in Japan, but she is half American, so she is more familiar with American English and with America than me. So today, I have a list of the top 10 things that the UK does better than America, than the USA, and Cassie is gonna react to these things on this list. So hopefully should be funny or interesting. Let's see. So
hi guys.
yeah, I'll let Cassie introduce herself again. I talk too much. Okay, so the first thing on this list, so this list is from a website called Market Watch. If anyone's interested, I just searched on Google and this was one of the top ones that came up. So the first thing on the list is healthcare. What do you think, Cassie? Does the UK do healthcare, as in doctors, nurses, hospitals, looking after people? Does the UK do that better than America?
I think every country does.
Why do you think so?
Well, I think as most people know, healthcare in the United States is extremely expensive and there are a lot of people not covered under insurance. There is no national healthcare system where you can get your health care or checkups for free like there is in the UK. So I would definitely say that the UK's healthcare system is better.
Yeah, so the UK has the NHS, which is the National Health Service. For people who are interested, it's quite famous around the world. In the UK, if you have anything wrong with you, you can go to the hospital and you can get the service for free. It's not working quite as well as it did in the past, but it's still free. Yeah, and it's a good service. So America's not quite the same, is it? So number 2 on the list is roundabouts. Do you know why this list might have roundabouts as number 2?
Oh, meaning that
so
it's the
saying,
second best thing that they do?
Well, it's saying that roundabouts, I don't know if these are in order or not, but it's saying that roundabouts are better than what they have in America, which would so America doesn't have roundabouts, right? They don't really have.
I've seen maybe 1 or 2 in like Washington, D.C. and I don't know, maybe like one other state, but I don't really remember seeing them. I don't think that they're very common at all.
And like here in Japan, they don't have them, do they? And I don't think they have them in Japan either. But if you don't know, a roundabout is, so yeah, in America or here in Japan, they'll have like a crossroad instead. And we do have those in the UK. But yeah, they'll have traffic lights maybe or something, and people will be driving this way and this way. But a roundabout, you drive on to the roundabout and then you go around and then you take your turning. So the reason this website said roundabouts are better is because they're supposed to be faster. Because nobody has to wait and nobody has to cross each other. So they're a bit difficult for people who are not used to them. But once you get used to them, they should be faster and safer.
There are no traffic lights?
No traffic lights. Some big roundabouts have traffic lights, but usually they don't. Normally you just enter whenever there's space and you drive around and then you take your turning. Yeah, but they have a bit of a system. But once you know the system, they're safer. Do you think America would do better with some roundabouts?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, there you have it. Time to install some roundabouts in America. You heard it here first. Cassie has spoken. So yeah, some of the things on this list are a bit strange, but let's see what else is on here. Number 3 is understatement. And understatement means saying something with less enthusiasm. So an example, I think I've mentioned before, Americans will often say like, this is amazing. And a British person might just say, oh, it's not bad. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, when I first met Liam, actually, because I think I was kind of used to like American enthusiasm. So whenever I would tell him something, I would expect him to be like, oh my God, what? That's amazing. And so whenever he was just like, oh yeah, okay, then I kind of thought that he was not excited about my story, or just that he, I don't know, I didn't think that he like really felt that much emotion about stuff. So, but I did kind of know about like British humor and like the British kind of attitude towards things. So I just got used to it.
Yeah, so I've heard this from Americans before when they tell me something and I say, oh, cool, sounds good. And they ask me like, aren't you excited? And I'm like, yes, I am excited. Can you not see that I'm excited? So yeah, this is quite a British thing. We don't quite show our excitement the same way Americans do. Some people, though, might say Americans can be a bit false or a bit fake. So if a British person is saying, yeah, awesome, then you know they really mean it. They're not just saying it. Sometimes Americans might say it too much. I think so. Queuing. So number 4 is queuing. Apparently we queue better than America, but America won't even use the word queue. What would they say in America?
Get in line.
Yeah, getting in line or standing in line. But in the UK we say queuing up or queuing. So apparently we do it better than America. What do you think?
Yeah, but I don't know if you do it better than Japan.
Oh yeah, Japan has got to be number 1. Yeah. But do you think like people in America are like not queuing? They're just jumping the line or jumping the queue?
I think it depends. I think that if there is like somebody waiting in line, maybe somebody would ask, why are you waiting in line? But I think for the UK, maybe they wouldn't even ask and people would just wait in line. But I do remember, like some people cutting in line whenever I lived in America. And of course, it's not acceptable. People will get angry about it. But in other countries, people just, they wouldn't cut in line in the first place. It's like a huge no-no, isn't it?
Yeah, in the UK in general compared to America, like Americans often make fun of us and say like, British people are too polite. So in general, I mean, of course we have very rude people too, but in general, British people are supposed to be more polite than Americans. We say please and thank you and sorry all the time. Americans usually say we say it too much. You also say the same thing about Canadians though. They say Canadians and British people are too polite. I don't know if you can be too polite. There's nothing wrong with that. Tea. Number 5 is tea. That's kind of obvious, really, isn't it? Of course we do tea better.
Do you know about tea in the United States?
Like, what about it? Like iced tea and stuff?
Yeah. Sweet tea.
Oh, okay.
So in the United States, well, especially in the South, I don't know about the other places, but my family is from the South of the United States. And in that region, they always drink sweet tea. So if you give them tea that's not sweet, they will be like, what is this? Like, this is gross. But yeah, they always put like a lot of sugar in their tea. And then that's what's normal to them. And they drink it cold, iced.
And with no milk.
Oh, no.
With no
way.
milk. Yeah, so like iced tea with no milk and lots of sugar. Whereas, yeah, in the UK, tea is usually milk. With milk, it's hot. And it's not sweet, usually. I mean, some people like to put sugar, but probably most people don't have any sugar. But yeah, people always ask you, if they ask you for a cup of tea, they'll say, do you want sugar or not? Milk or sugar, blah, blah, blah. But usually it's milk, no sugar. And it's hot. So yeah, quite different. But it's really good. TV news. So why do you think this is on the list? Why does the UK do news better than America?
I would say American news is very extreme. It's either this party or this party, just very on kind of opposite ends of the spectrum, very political, and I don't know. I guess like in the UK they would have more neutral opinions.
Yeah. In the UK, we have a lot of newspapers that I don't like, because we have a lot of newspapers that are very strong in their language. You know, it's like I don't want to even repeat their headlines. They're very strong headlines sometimes. But the news on the TV is pretty neutral usually. BBC would be the main one, and they're fairly neutral. They don't have too strong of an opinion. And if they want to talk about something, they'll have people debating it. But the debate is usually more civil, usually more calm. But when I watch like American news, I think they want kind of drama, so they purposefully bring people with very extreme opinions, and they'll be shouting at each other, and like some people have said it feels like they're watching wrestling instead of watching the news. It's quite strong opinions. Number 7 is a kind of strange one, but it's also quite true. Is singing really offensive songs about the other team. So in sports games, football fans in particular, they like to make songs about the other team, and they tend to be offensive, kind of insulting, saying bad things about the other team. They usually have a lot of bad language. So when I say football, I mean what we call football in the UK, soccer. Do people in America do this?
Well, I don't really watch sports that much, but in high school, we would often go to the football games and the American football games, and I would never really hear songs about the other team. It would just always be supporting their home team, but I would never really hear any chants or anything like kind of saying bad stuff about the other team. But I guess in the UK, it's pretty common.
Yeah, the ones in the UK would maybe shock you. Some of them are really horrible, the things they say. But they're usually kind of funny. They're usually a bit witty. Witty means kind of like a kind of clever joke or something. I guess that's kind of a British thing, just making fun of each other. And which is actually similar to number 8. So number 8 on this list, like I said, made by Market Watch. They have some interesting ideas. Number 8 is making fun of France. But America seems to make fun of France a lot too. If there's any French people listening, I'm sorry. I really love France, but I think, a lot of English speakers, I think in America and the UK make fun of France a lot.
I don't really hear people saying anything bad about France.
Oh, okay. Well, I have heard some Americans before. I know.
What did they say?
Well, something that's kind of stupid is they always say like the French military is weak and stuff. Like French always give up in wars and things like that. French didn't want to help George Bush a little while ago when George Bush was trying to fight in the Middle East, and France didn't want to join him. And then a lot of Americans were like, French people are weak and stuff. It's kind of stupid military stuff. You didn't hear any of that? No, maybe you don't watch the news that much. At least you didn't at that time. But I think it's kind of ridiculous. But in the UK, I think, people just say like French people are arrogant sometimes. Like they think they go to France. But to be honest, I think it's more the British people's fault, because I think British people go to France, they don't speak French, and they're shouting at people in English. And, French people sometimes quite often don't speak English very well. And maybe it's just a lack of communication. Because I speak French reasonably well. So when I'm in France, I have a really positive experience. Everyone's very friendly and nice to me. And I have lots of French friends. And France is great. Beautiful country, nice food. So it's a bit of a strange list, this one. Okay, anyway, number 9 is accurate price tags. So when you see the price on something, it's accurate, it's correct. Mm-hmm. Why is that on here?
I think a few different reasons is because in America, they don't include the tax with most things. So if you go to a supermarket or any kind of like general store, you'll see the price before tax, which it makes it look cheaper than it's actually going to be. And also, if you go to any kind of restaurants or cafes or something, you probably will have to tip maybe 10-15%. I guess it depends on the state. I'm not really sure. But then, so your check, the total amount will come out to be a lot more than you expected.
Yeah, whereas in the UK, yeah, when you see a price tag, the tax will be included. And also you don't have to tip in the UK. You know, in America, if you go to a restaurant, you get the bill, and then they're going to add the tax after. And then you're going to have to pay like 20% tip, right? In America? You don't know? That's so bad.
No, I just said, it depends on the state.
Oh, okay. But usually 20%. But in the UK, it's usually about 10%, and you don't have to. If you're in a restaurant, like especially a nice restaurant, and the waiter gives you really good service or just decent service, and it's kind of a proper restaurant, then I would probably tip 10%, because the waiter might feel a bit like insulted. If you don't, they might feel a bit like, did I do something wrong? But you don't have to. In America, yeah, they're tipping in bars and cafes and basically everywhere. And in the UK, it's not like that. Even, as you can see, I have some tattoos. One thing I didn't think about when I went to get a tattoo in America, when I was looking online, they said, oh, make sure to tip the tattoo artist. And I thought, well, I'm already paying the tattoo artist.
In hair salons, too.
Yeah, hair salons, too. So if you get your hair cut, basically any service you get in America.
Taxi,
even sometimes mail workers.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Well, a lot of things. So you should check. If you're in America and you're not sure, you should always check, because there are a lot of things that you need to tip for. And because it's such a common culture, if you don't tip, then the worker will feel like, oh, did I do something wrong? Do they not like me, or was my service bad or something? So yeah, they'll feel a little bit like insulted or something. But in the UK, it's not like that. It's basically just restaurants, and only like sort of proper, nice restaurants that we give 10%. Cafes, sometimes we leave a bit of change or something. But cafes usually just have a little jar and you can just drop it in. But that's pretty much it. Not much tipping in the UK. Number 10, I told you it's a bit strange, this list. Number 10 is knowing when to end a show.
Oh.
So do you know why that's on the list?
I guess American TV series kind of last a long time. They keep going because obviously they're going to get paid a lot of money to keep the show going. But they kind of tend to run out of ideas, and then it kind of ruins the plot of the show, I guess. They kind of come up with more, I don't know, like outlandish kind of plots. And
like side stories and things.
Yeah, so people tend to not really like that. But I guess in the UK, they finish their shows at a reasonable time.
Yeah, I think it depends on the show. So, I don't know exactly why these people wrote this on the list. But yeah, I guess when I think of comedy shows, they tend to just have a few seasons, and then they'll finish on a high note, maybe 3 seasons, even if it's very popular, 4 seasons, 5, and then just finish. But especially American kind of sitcoms, they'll just keep going and going and going and going. Basically, as long as they're making money, they'll just keep making it. Maybe the UK is starting to become more like that, but yeah, I think traditionally, once they just finish the show, they're just that'll do. I mean, one of the most popular English comedy shows in history is Fawlty Towers. It's a bit old now. It's from 80s, maybe. It's pretty old now. Fawlty Towers with John Cleese. He's one of the Monty Python guys, if you know Monty Python. One of the most popular TV shows in the UK. They always show clips again and again on the TV. It had 1 season with 10 episodes. And it's still...
Only one?
Yeah, only one. Have you seen Fawlty Towers?
I think you should.
Oh, okay. It's very funny. Fawlty Towers is very good. You should have a look. There's very British humour. A little bit kind of old British humour now, but it's very funny. But yeah, just 1 season. And it's still one of the most famous comedy shows probably ever. So there you go. Yeah, we don't milk things. We don't drag it out so much. So there we go. That's apparently, according to, what was it called? Market Watch. Apparently that was the 10 things that UK does better than America. Bit of a funny list. Maybe we can have a look for another one sometime. Next time, yeah, it'd be good to try to see which things America does better than the UK. And maybe also because Cassie is from Japan and we're both living in Japan, maybe we can see what things Japan does well as well.
Maybe
so,
better than US or UK.
Yeah, there's probably quite a few things. That's why we like living here. Anyway, if you haven't checked it out yet, Cassie now has her own YouTube channel too. Do you want to tell them a bit about your YouTube channel?
Sure. So my YouTube channel is called What's Cassie Doing? And I had an idea to just try different things, especially now where we're supposed to stay home. I thought I would try different things, kind of like DIY at home. But then I started talking about different things, like my latest video was about how the Japanese people were dealing with coronavirus here in Japan. And I think in the future I'll start making more maybe Japan-related videos. So if you are interested in maybe moving to Japan or just, I don't know, daily life in Japan, then check out my videos. I would love to have you on my channel.
Yeah. And Cassie's channel is not exactly, mine is made for people learning English. So we're speaking naturally, but making it a bit easier. Cassie's channel is aimed at people who can speak English. So it could be a challenge for some of you, but it's good because eventually you need to get used to like real 100% natural English, and that you can hear over on Cassie's channel. Yeah, she won't be making it any easier for you. So don't worry if you get lost sometimes. Yeah, just keep trying and eventually you'll understand like real English. Okay, anyway, thank you all very much for listening today. If it's your first time here, don't forget to subscribe. Everybody go over and subscribe to Cassie's channel, What's Cassie Doing? I'll put a link for that in the description of this video. Thank you all very much and see you all back here next time.
Thanks, bye-bye.